Hello and good morning. Thank you for tuning in, Rose Ward, Stampersdelight.com. I'm just going to wait and see if I have anybody on. I know this isn't my regular time. Remember, I'm usually on 7 a.m. Eastern time. But because I was off today, I wanted to test out 8 a.m. And once I retire, I'm just going to play around and see what dates work. I don't see anybody on yet, and I have had some issues this morning. So let me just, before we get started, let me check something here. Let me just check this. There we go. Okay, now I see people on. There we go. Good morning, Denise. Good morning, Pam, Alex, Stacy. Thank you so much for tuning in. So not only did I change my time today, I don't know if you can see, I'm actually standing up. I have a new table here. I'm going to be redoing my stamp room. And I'm a stand-up stamper, so I've got this adjustable table, and we're going to see how it works. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, lots of people on, so we're going to get started because I have quite a few things I want to show you and do. And again, just give me a shout out. Let me know what time. Remember, I'm Eastern time. I always do 7 a.m. Eastern time. Today's 8 a.m. Next week I'm off. I think I'm going to try 9 a.m. just to see which one works for everybody. I know. Thank you, everyone. Everyone said do what works for me, but I also want to do what works for you. So let's get started. Grab your coffee, grab your tea, and come stamp with me. This morning I am drinking my raspberry chocolate. Yummy. Okay, I'm going to flip the screen and we're going to get started. So a couple of things first. I want to remind you that you have till November 10th to sign up for my Eden's Gardens online class. Okay, so you got 5 more days to do that. There's different levels to sign up for, so check that out in the description later. I also want to, if you're hopping on and you thought about joining the Stampin' Up! Team and my team, or maybe you did it years ago and you want to rejoin, they got a great starter kit special for $75. You get $125 worth of merchandise. So think of it this way. You're going to place an order of $125. Why not try the starter kit? You get the business items free, but you can still get $125 of merchandise for $75. You go to Stampersdelight.com and click on join. And again, you have nothing to lose, everything to gain. You'll get a welcome package from me, some exclusive Facebook pages, the Stampin' Up! Website. So if you'd like more information, just contact me. You can contact me at Stampersdelight.com. Here is my host code for this month. Only use that if your order is less than $150. Yes, happy Friday, Deborah. And then for the Stampers Delight shop, just go to stampersdelightshop.com. That's where you can get this awesome, coffee mug that I use every day. But let me flip the camera a minute and show you what else I got. I'm obsessed with my own. I shouldn't say my own. My daughter-in-law does the website. I'm obsessed with everything on that website. So I've got a mason jar like this. Of course, it's got the Stampers Delight logo on the back. Whoop. I'm never sure which way to go with this. There we go. But it's my water. That's a new item on there. Of course, the shirt I'm wearing says stamping my way to my next vacation, which brings me up to the next item. Thank you all. You may have seen all the badges that I earned for On Stage this year. One being the incentive trip. And thank you all for helping me get there. And now I am stamping my way to the next one. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing today is the classic cloche and the sweet treats. I'm going to be showing you these dies, these stamp sets, which all go together. And see, I have to know that I have to move up further now with this new setup. So I'm going to get started with that in a second. What I want to show you also, thank you. Oh, Denise, you got your Dear Santa sweatshirt. You love it? I'm still waiting for mine. So yeah, we have this really great sweatshirt. And it says, Dear Santa, all I want for Christmas is stamps. How appropriate, right? I wanted to show you some of the cards that I received. Unfortunately, a lot of them are sympathy cards from when my brother-in-law passed away. But I did want to give a shout out to everybody that did such a great job. This one is from Teresa. Teresa, thank you. And also to show you how wonderful you all stamp. This one is from Kate. That's our DDM. Thank you so much, Kate. This is from Linda, a teammate. So is Teresa. Some great ideas for you. This is from Winann. Speaking of Winann, she just popped in, said hi. Again, I know that this is kind of sad because they're sympathy cards, but some great cards here for everyone to see. This is from Lisa, another teammate. And I'm sorting them out here because I got some different things here. So thank you. This one is the Arrow Fold from Molly, another teammate. Thank you so much, Molly. This is from Denise, another teammate. Then I have some other cards to show you. This is another one I got from Molly, a thank you. When she joined my team, I sent her a nice little welcome package. This one is from Jill. Thank you so much, Jill. This is also a thank you card. She thanked me for all the work I do on here. Again, this one's from Teresa. Teresa also had a passing in her family. And then late to the party is my Halloween cards. This one is from Cindy, one of my stamp campers. Another one from Molly. Molly, you've just been stamping away since you joined the team. I love it. And then this one is from Donna, another teammate. So thank you all for your cards. I did want to give you a shout out because it is important. Let me grab my coffee. Oh my gosh, it's so nice not have to be that I can take my time in the morning. Okay, so let me show you again. Here's the 2 stamp sets. Here's the dies. Okay, you can see mine are all messed up because I've been playing with them. I didn't use all the dies yet, but you'll get the general idea. And I'm going to be using them some now too. So with the sweets and treats, I did this card. So cute. Look at that. Happy birthday. Little pie. A tasty treat for someone sweet. I absolutely love this little guy right here, the candy apple, but you know what? Candy apple needs Winkestella. Candy apple definitely needs Winkestella there. I think the pie might too, but we'll do that later. So here's the first card that I did with the matching envelope, and that is from the Sweets and Treats. I'm also watching my internet because that was kind of slow this morning. Okay, with the classic Cloche. Here's another one that I did, and of course that's designer series paper. This was the designer series paper from the Sweet Peach, I believe it was called. This one, of course, is from the Whimsy. And this one is not, you know, I'm just stamping these and stamp the globe thing. And you can see one of the pieces back there looks like a little snowbank. What do you think about this one? So cute, huh? So there's one there. The next one I did, I used the die to cut out the I'm going to call it a globe, okay? I don't know, Cloche just, it doesn't just roll off my tongue. And I made this to look like an ornament hanging. And there, of course, I have the birds. But there's a window sheet here, so this is flat. It's not with one of those cups. Okay, it's flat. And this one opens this way. All right, the next one I did, and I'm going to show you something else. I did the shaker card. You love that one? Thanks, Denise. This is a shaker card, and if you're on and you're coming to my Tuesday class, we will be doing a shaker card. So, Darlene, Bernard, I know you've been wanting to do another shaker card, so we'll do that at the class on Tuesday. So this one is the shaker card, and of course with the Peaceful Cabins paper. It's kind of hard to see. Now, that one, when you cut this out, and you cut this out, of course you have that designer series paper in that shape. And oh, thank you, Janelle. Janelle says they're all so pretty. So let me show you what I did with that. Okay, so when I cut this piece out, of course I have some of that designer series paper left over. And you know me, I never like to throw out anything. And also, if you've been watching me, you know how obsessed I am with pretty tags for Christmas. So I took that paper. There's the cutout right there. And there's another die that cuts the houses out. And it does look a little dark over here. I'm not sure why. Like I said, I have a new setup. But there'll be still shots. Oh, I have a couple lights out. I just noticed that. So I made a tag for, looks like it might be lighter down here. I made a tag for a Christmas present. Okay. Now for this one, again, I have that piece of designer series paper. Thank you, Patricia. Yeah, I mean, why not make some tags? So with that designer series paper, I made this tag. And of course, when you flip it over, this side I needed to put a little, I couldn't just stamp on the back like this one because it wasn't white. So this was a leftover die I had from one of the paper pumpkins. Now, what I want to show you also, because I won't be using it, I don't think, is I stamped this, and there's two different stamps, like two-step stamping here. But then there's also dies that cut these pieces out so you can make them 3D. Okay, so it's the same thing. You can stamp it, the image on image, and then you can cut those out because there is a die. And there, of course, you can see I have one of those little snowflakes. All right, so let's get started. Let's stamp something. All right. So I am going to bring in some paper here. I have my shimmery white. Couldn't think of what it was. I also need to bring in a piece of paper here so I don't get this background any messier than it is. Okay, I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer first, and I'm going to score that really well. Don't want to cut it. So I'm so excited because if you saw the picture that we stopped at IKEA, I got this awesome desk, which raises up and down, and that'll be going over in my video corner that I'm making for my recordings once I stop work. I also got the IKEA Calyx unit, so I'm waiting for some parts for that. So once it's all done, which might take a couple of months, I will do a little video on that. Ah, you didn't miss it, Ange. Okay, and there is my card base. And Ange, congratulations on some of your achievements, or all of your achievements also. All right. Then I'm going to bring in now, we do have the silver foil paper that goes with the Peaceful Cabins. Unfortunately, I had used all mine up, so I had this metallic silver paper, and just make believe it's the foil paper. I'm going to layer that just like this on here. Okay. And I'm actually going to do this together. All right. You might think I'm crazy, But I like to make sure this lines up, and I hate measuring anything. So for me, it's easier just to do it this way. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to bring in my dies. Take this die. That's going to go right here. I'm going to bring in my die cutting machine. Now, hopefully, I'm not sure how this is going to work. Might have a little jiggling, because I used to have my stand off the table. So again, just trying out new things. I am going to lay that down, sandwich that in. Hopefully it didn't move. And the thing I love about the shaker cards is you don't even need to do a fancy fold, because it's just so nice with the shakers. It is actually a fancy fold, right? Okay, so there's my hole. I actually have 2 more pieces here for tags, right? Put that right there. I am going to bring in a piece of basic white, which is going to go right back here. Okay. Now, one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to take this background stamp, the first stamp. I'm going to show you a little trick here. Okay. So there's 3 stamps to this that there's 3 stamps, and you stamp one over the other. Maybe I should do these later. Okay, let me fix that. All right, I'm gonna bring in my Balmy Blue. Only a little bit of jiggling? Okay, great. So now the stamping will be the next thing. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this in. I am going to take my Balmy Blue. I'm gonna ink that off once. Okay, so that I get a real light image here. I should be using my mat too. See, that's why that moved, but that's okay. I just want my base image there, and I want to make sure that these get lined up correctly. So I'm going to take that off. I'm going to bring in my Stamparatus. Remember I said the other day, I do use my Stamparatus a lot. Maybe not so much on my videos, but I do use it at home a lot. Okay, so I'm going to put that right in here. I'm going to grab one of my magnets. Should have I should have taken that off first. Okay. All right, so I'm going to just line this right up here. Good morning, Maureen. I'm going to lay that right there. Okay, so the next one I'm going to grab is the third image, or the second image. This is a little bit more fine detail, okay? Now I can line this up right here. Push that down. There we go. I'm going to bring in my Blushing Bride. Ink that up. Doesn't have to be real dark. Press that down. I did a lot of these freehand where I didn't use the Stamparatus, and they actually come out pretty good. Okay, but if you have the Stamparatus, it works so much nicer. Look at that. Perfect, right? Okay, so we're going to leave that there. We are going to pull this one off. And I am going to bring in the more bold image, which is those little houses. I'm going to line those up right here. Just like that. Bring that in. If you don't have the Stamparatus, it is a great tool. And again, I know you don't see me do a lot of it on camera, but trust me, it's always on my workbench or work table. Now I am going to ink that up Remember, this is going to be a little bit darker, which is exactly what I want. I'm just going to let that set for a second to soak in. Thank you, Jill. I just showed one of your cards if you didn't see it. Yes, definitely share. She's sharing my video to the northeast of Ohio. Please share my videos. I've only got 20-something days, work days left. Remember, I'm going to be doing this full time. I'm going to need your support more than ever. It's kind of scary after working all those years for other companies and then going out on your own. I mean, I've been doing this for 20 years, so I'm not scared about that because we all love our Stampin' Up. But it's exciting too. Okay, and there you have it. You see how perfect that is? So always check out, I mean, definitely you want the Stamparatus. This is going to go right here. And before I do that, I'm going to bring in some of our cord. I'm just going to cut off a piece here. And I am going to wrap that around here. I really don't need that big of a piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do this. Add that piece right there, because I'm just going to wrap that around. End it right there. It was chilly today in New York. Actually, it was chilly the last couple of days. So that's going to go right there, so that it's going to look like an ornament. Okay. Now I'm going to, oh, I got to stamp one more thing, the sentiment, which I could have used the Stamparatus for, but I didn't. So we're just going to lay that back on here. The magic of Christmas. And is that going to fit? It will just fit right in there. Okay. Magic of Christmas. All right, so let me bring in one of those little cups. And what I'm going to do is I am going to put it through here like this, right? So this piece has to come off first. Push that. Make sure it's on there correctly. And then just with your finger, go all the way around. This piece is going to come off next. You see I got a little bit of that adhesive here to hold that ribbon down. I love shaker cards, especially winter ones. Okay, we're just going to put that aside for a second. The way I do my cups or fill my cups, okay, I just find it easier. I'm going to take that piece of paper and I am going to take these sequins, which are also from the Peaceful Cabin. Don't put too many on where you can't even see your image. But put enough on where, you know, it looks like a shaker card. Okay, and I am going to just lay that right there. I'm now going to push that around. And then when you flip it over, if you have a little piece of crooked cardstock behind it, you can just trim it off because you're not going to see that. So I'm just taking that piece off. Just trim it. Okay, maybe this piece too. Plus it'll be less bulky. There we go. And I'm just going to trim a little bit more. Oh, not in camera. Trimming just some of that white off. That might be sticking through. Or you can just make this piece, the white piece, smaller. But that's what I have pre-cut pieces here. I am now going to adhere that onto my shimmery white. And you can do it one of two ways. You can actually do it this way. Okay. Or you can go ahead and just glue this piece here. I might have to change my adhesive. So one of the things I want to tell you about the shaker cards, okay? Anything that's heavy on the top. You see I went all the way around with my Stamp and Seal. You don't need that much, but when something's heavy like that, I like to make sure that I've put enough on there. Okay, there we go with that. Now before I finish off the card, I'm going to open it up. I'm going to grab the other sentiment, which says it's the most wonderful time of the year. Absolutely love, probably my favorite sentiment is that, because it is the most wonderful time of the year. I'm inking that up in the Blushing Bride. Get that straight. I am going to bring in that other image of the houses, and I'm going to use that for the corner. I'm also going to grab an envelope and do that. So this weekend I have, that's why I'm off today. This weekend we have my mother's surprise 90th birthday party. I will not be on YouTube Live on Monday night. I'm going to have company and stuff here. So I'll resume the following week. But yeah, we have my mother's 90th birthday party, so we had a sad event, now we're going to have a happy event. Okay, so that's that. Let's put this back here. I'm going to bring in some gems. Oh, before I do that, let me bring in some ribbon. So this is, of course, our glittered organdy ribbon. Oh, thank you. You like this card? Okay, and I am just going to tie that. Make this a little bit smaller. Again, I keep forgetting to look up and see where I am. I'm going to have to make myself a little cheat sheet and put a little X where I have to be now. It's the problem when you change your setup. You have to get used to everything all over again. But I love this table. I love IKEA. I'll be going back there, I'm sure. We don't have one in New York. Well, I think they do down towards the city, but we went to Paramus because that was on the way to the airport. Wish they'd put one up in Albany, New York. I go up there a lot shopping. They have great stores. This is going to go right here. So I am going to bring in some glue dots. Love how you combination. Oh, yes. I love to combine our products because I like to show how well they go together. Thank you, Stacy. Oop, that one didn't come off. I'm going to put that right here. I'm using our glue dots. Again, you see mine are flat. But that's because these are from Paper Pumpkin. This one didn't want to work. We'll get rid of that one. I'm just going to move this and move this. And I'm going to lay that right down, just like that. I'm leaving the tails, let me bring it up. I'm leaving the tails long because I like that. Now I'm going to bring in our silver and clear epoxy gems. I love these ones right here. They look like little stars to me. So those are the ones I'm going to use. That one didn't come off my finger. Oh, there we go. And there you have it. A beautiful shaker card. Oh, that's where it is. Hicksville, Long Island. Yeah, and there's one, I think, I want to say Yonkers or whatever. But see, it's easier and quicker for me to go to Paramus. That's only like, less than 2 hours from here. Long Island is actually further, I think. Thank you, Angie. Look at this. I mean, who wouldn't love to get that card? So there's the shaker card. Now let's bring in these two pieces real quick. And I actually have 2 of these. I'm not going to use this one right now. We're going to use this one. So the first thing I'm going to do, you see that back, that's fine. All right, we'll put a to and from on that. I am going to bring in, let's see, I think the birds. Okay, let me bring in the birds. Okay, now I'm going to show you this without the Stamparatus. So let me just switch these up. So I'm going to put this on my block now. All right. I'm going to bring in my soft suede. And a piece of cardstock. Oop. Let's do this. So if you don't have the Stamparatus, this is the way you would be doing it. Now you're going to bring in this other piece, which is the twigs. And you can line it up. That's going to go right here. Now again, remember, this is if you don't have Stamparatus. I highly suggest for these you can use that, but you can actually line this up pretty good because you can see through it. See how well I do. We'll see in a minute. Ta-da! That was pretty darn good, wasn't it? So that's the way you would layer these dimensional or 2-step stamping or 3-step stamping stamps if you don't have the Stamparatus. I am going to bring in real quick some inks here. I'm going to use coral for this. So I'm just going to take our Calypso Coral and add a little, these are our blends. Add a little bit of that. It just looks like it goes a little bit better with the Blushing Bride or the pink paper. Okay. I'm going to grab our Mango Melody because I want that beak lighter. I'm just going to grab the light crumb cake for the feathers under here, the little belly. Okay. And now I'm going to grab a die here. This die actually goes to the church, okay, or the churches, so that doesn't fit there, of course. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in, you know what, I'm not going to cut these out, but I could cut those out. Okay, what I'm going to do is just cut this myself. Save that little piece for the back side. Okay. I might change this, I'm not sure. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to change it. Never mind, I don't like that. We're going to definitely cut it out. So let's do that. Let me just take my embossing die cutting machine and cut those out. This is my playtime. Card on the fly, tag on the fly. I'm going to go ahead and cut this right out. Wasn't sure if I'd like it. I like it like a 3-dimensional. Okay, so we're going to just cut these out. So there I have my little birds. I really didn't have to stamp that. Then I have these little trees. See if I have what color I have near me. We have those that die, which is the little trees. Do I have a brown in here? Oh, I do. Actually, it's the Sahara sand, but I'm going to use that because that's what I have. go ahead and just take this. That just happens to be the color that I have up here, so we'll use that. Okay, there's my trees. Move them over there. Or my branches. I am going to bring in some green that I have here. This is another piece that's been sitting around for a while. Put that on there. And I'm going to take this die, which has 3 different trees on it. I'm going to grab some trees here. I have no idea how this tag is going to come out, but you'll be the first one to know. I got 3 little trees. Okay. All right, let's see what we're going to do here. So I am thinking I am going to use the 3 little trees, maybe. We're not sure yet. As the background. And then maybe, oh yeah, I think I'll put it the other way. Have this sticking out there. Okay, I like that. So let's flip those over. Grab some dimensionals. And for this, I'm going to grab my mini dimensionals. And I'm just going to put this on here. On there. And on here. Okay, that gives me a little room to stick these behind there. Remember, you can have them hanging off. It's a tag. I'm just going to grab, I don't have my silicone sheet here, so I'm just going to use this paper. Put that there. Put this one under here. Ooh, so cute. And then give my little birds here. And remember, if you get the bundle and then you order this one, you've still got Christmas and you've got birthday, little cupcakes, such cute little ideas. This is a very versatile set, and I love sets that you can use for many occasions. Right there. This little bird's going to go the opposite way. I can make them kiss. Ooh, look how cute that is. All right, I have a little hole punch. And I'm going to grab that real quick. Very tiny. This is a very tiny spot, okay? So you really want to be careful when you put that hole in there. So I'm just going to punch that. Just be very careful because it makes it. I probably have a smaller hole punch too, but there we go. There's my hole. Again, I'm going to bring in some of that silver twine. I'm just loving the fact that I'm not rushing like I usually do on Fridays. Okay, we're going to add that. You may need that set now. Yes, you do, Maureen. All right, let me find a little die cut. I have this little bag of already pre-cut die. I don't want gold because there's no gold on here. I'll take this one. That's from our oval. I got this little to and from. That is from the Be Jolly stamp set. We're just going to put to and from. We're going to just flip that around. It's going to go right on the back here. And then let's add some gems. Again, these gems are the silver and clear epoxy. I'm going to take some more silver. Again, I like the circles. We have the rhinestones, but I love these because to me they look like I said, stars. So we're going to go ahead and put, you really only need 2 on here because it is very small. And you know what? I'm going to add some Wink Stella. Who would not like this on their present? I can even add a little Wink Stella to the edges of the trees so they sparkle and shine. Okay. Yes, that's right, Vicky. Vicky says soon I'll have enough time where I can take my time on every video live, and that's very true. Okay, so there you have a tag made out of the leftover piece from the card. So cute. I love my tags. And again, we have this one, and that was the leftover shaker card. This one, of course, was with the window sheet. So if you don't want to make a shaker card, you can just use a window sheet and the matching tag. Oh, you're welcome, Vicky. Vicky says she's been in a rut. Thanks for the inspiration. Anytime, my friend. And then this one, and you can see I just used the detailed stamp, or the detailed stamp without coloring it in or anything like that. And then, of course, the other side of this stamp set, the sweets and treats. So I'm going to flip the camera. So I hope you enjoyed the cards today. Thank you for tuning in. Before I forget, and I'm going to go this way. How do you like my new sign? Stampers Welcome. That's on the Stampersdelight shop. That's actually ceramic. I can't reach it. That's actually heavy ceramic. I absolutely love that. I didn't design that. My daughter-in-law did. I tell her sometimes things I would like to see, like the Dear Santa sweatshirt. She came up with that one. I absolutely love it. What beautiful. I need this one. So, Janie, you need this set now, right? So, again, I hope you enjoyed Facebook Friday morning at 8 a.m. And I will have still shots later today on my blog, Stampersdelight.com. And, again, think about this set because you don't need to know a fancy fold. It's already a fancy card when you do the shaker card. I won't be on Monday evening on YouTube. Remember that because it is my mom's 90th birthday party this weekend. I think I might be a little tired. I'll be back here Friday morning, next Friday morning. I'm actually going to try, okay, next Friday morning, I'm going to try 9 o'clock, okay? I'm just feeling it out, okay? Just to see how things go, what works for you, what works for me. So next Friday morning, I'm going to try 9 a.m. So until then, have a great weekend. Keep on stamping, Stampers. Bye.